Hong Kong's Helena May is a boarding house and club for women founded in 1916 by the wife of a former British governor. Nearly a century later, in a city now under Chinese rule, the historic site is still in business, but facing a very modern challenge in the form of high energy costs.
Because it is an older building, so it doesn't have the kind of insulation. And also another problem is this is a club, but it's also a place for people to stay. It's a hotel at one point, and it's a resident place. So when you have residents and guests and members, there can be an awful lot of consumption.
Founder Lady May would be pleased to learn that managers of her legacy have found a solution through a Hong Kong company developing British technology into a product called AirconMiser.
What was really beautiful about it was that it was engineered and produced, directed right here in Hong Kong. And that's what we wanted. We wanted to keep it local because that's green. That's what green's about.
AirconMiser is an electronic device that can be fitted onto almost any air conditioner. It improves aircon efficiency, reduces wear and tear on the compressor, and typically knocks 40 to 50% off electricity bills.
The clever part of it is the chip technology that goes within it, and we've got various iterations that have been developed over years and years and years, trying the thing out, knocking off the rough edges as we've tried it in different environments. But now that we have developed those algorithms in the Arabian desert, in Hong Kong in the highest humidity conditions that you can find, in these sort of extremes of conditions, we now have a fairly sophisticated piece of technology that works in any circumstances around the world. It's actually developing now into a wider range of products because we've got the same technology applied using different algorithms to refrigeration and cold storage. So pretty soon we'll have a suite of products that cover all sorts of different applications of the technology in fixed situations, in mobile situations, buses, trucks, ferries, containers, refrigerated areas, cold storage areas, the whole lot.
A native of East Sussex, Cottingham and his fellow company shareholders are all British nationals living in Hong Kong, where they formed a company to develop an idea that began as an angel research investment in England, getting their devices rolling off assembly lines on the Chinese mainland and installed across Asia depends heavily on being in Hong Kong.
Of course, for us, there are particular advantages because of the throwback to British colonial era. That gives us a comfort zone, if you like, because it's a British established law and regulation system, it's a British established administration. The attraction of Hong Kong was as a hub for distribution, but very rapidly it became apparent that there were more advantages in terms of manufacturing, in terms of the way that we could develop our intellectual property here, the continuing R&D. We've actually got very, very skilled engineers available to us here in Hong Kong, and so we can do our own development here in Hong Kong with relatively cost-effective labour force. Although Hong Kong is expensive compared to China, it's still better value than the UK, for example. Of course, manufacturing is cheaper in China than we can achieve in Europe. Being in the middle, being able to coordinate all of these things, the sales, the business development, the technological development, the assembly, the production, the shipping, all of that fits very naturally in one place in Hong Kong.
Since energy prices are rising and AirconMiser can be retrofitted to existing aircon units, Cottingham sees enormous potential, not only in Hong Kong but also across the massive mainland market and in developing countries across Asia. He says other British entrepreneurs with cool ideas would do well to warm to Hong Kong.
There is already a heritage, there is already a part of the culture, a degree of familiarity they would have in coming here, which they simply can't get anywhere else in Asia. It's probably one of the most important hubs of trade in the world, certainly the capital as far as I'm concerned for Asia. The logistics are absolutely fantastic. So if you're going to do something from Asia, do it in Hong Kong.